Good morning, everyone. It is time for News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley, and today is Wednesday, y'all. It is hump day. It is Wednesday, June the 8th, 2022. I just want to see your beautiful names pop up in the chat. So come on in the room. A lot of news is happening. I'm going to be giving you some heavy content today, and I hope you would just join me as I'm giving you that content today. But y'all, we have a lot that is going on, and I really want you to be a part of it today. So do me a favor. Also, send a link. Send this link. Just hit the share button, send it, and invite people to come to hear some factual news, some news that I have been researching. Again, we are aggregated grassroots news organization. We are pulling news from multiple sources, and then we give the quote, we give the citation, we give it to where it's coming from. And we do it that way because we realize that so many people do not sit down any longer and watch the news, the national news on regular TV, and they're watching digital news or they're scrolling through social media. So it is my job, something that I have been wanting to do, to make sure the news still gets out there to the public. I see you, Tracy. I see you, Diane Ladybug. Good morning, sister. I see you, Adrian. Come on in the room, people. Come on in the room. To everyone who's listening by audio, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You keep your eyes on the road, or if you're at work, you keep them earbuds in your ear. And I hear some of you be cracking up laughing while you're at your desk or whatever it is. And then people want to know what you're listening to, and then you share it with them. And then we find out that they jump on here too. What's up, Kelly? How you doing, girl? What's up, Kenny Stanley? What's up? Well, I know we got game over in a little bit, but Kenny Stanley is coming in also from the chat. We really just enjoy what we do. That is the bottom line. There's a lot of news. I was looking at some of the results yesterday, and I got a little concerned. But we're, no fear, no fear, no fear. Okay, y'all, we need y'all to share this. We need y'all to share this, invite people in. We realize that some people are not getting the alerts anymore. You have to some degree alert yourself. Just put it in your smartphone or your tablet, saying, hey, I got to remember it's 7:25. Let me get in here and see what Gail is talking about with the news. What's up, Sardinia? And then just share it. Just share it. So, y'all, and that helps with the algorithm. Let me just give y'all a little behind the scenes on that for a moment. The algorithm, where I'm concerned, what's up, Hester, is not for me or for News in Motion. The algorithm is to alert people to say, hey, this is happening. There are so many people who indicate to us that they're looking for News in Motion, but they don't see it, they don't find it. And I don't know what that is. When I talk to some of our social media people, they say it all has to do with the algorithm. If they don't have it popped up, you go searching, you may not find it till later, because the game is we want to suppress it. We want to put it down. We don't want people to see it, especially if you're not paying for it. So that's what happens. What's up, Marion Jackson? Good morning to you. All right, y'all. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, June the 8th, 2022. It is hump day, and it's time for today's headlines on News in Motion. Again, I am your host, Gail Dudley. Thank you so much for letting me spend a portion of your day with you. So many of you are headed on vacation. I want to say be safe. I'll see you when you get back. Some of you have actually, started sneaking in your vacation time to see what's happening in the news. Don't get in trouble for me. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. I see you, Regina Shorts. I see you coming in here. All right, y'all. Y'all know what we do. Let's get this news started. Good morning. Good to see you, sister. All right, y'all, here's the headlines for Wednesday, June the 8th. Yesterday, I shared with all of you that major networks who will cover the January 6th hearings live will begin at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. That's tomorrow, June the 9th. However, Fox News has decided they're not going to carry it. No, they're not doing it. They are the only major news network that will not cover the hearings. I was reading something from the Lincoln Project, who had a post on Instagram that says it's almost as if they don't want their audiences to see or hear something that is true. They wouldn't be able to give their opinion in real time without any editing. I want to hear your thoughts on that because it does appear to be a little odd that they've had all of these spins and this commentary since January the 6th, 2020. And now all of a sudden, it's January 6th, 2021, excuse me. Now all of a sudden it's like, nah, we're not going to show this. Hester says she's not surprised. Good morning, Dr. Antoinette. Good morning, Cherie. Good morning. So I want to hear your thoughts on that. Why? Why would they not want to let their viewership, their public, know what's going on in real time with people giving their comments under oath during these hearings? What would be their reason? I just think that's a little strange, I'll come back and see what you all are posting, but I'm gonna keep the news going. Cherie says they want to hide the truth. Now, y'all, if here's something serious. So if you kind of see my little heaviness today, yeah, there's trouble in America. Okay. If yesterday's primary election in California, in Iowa, in Mississippi, in New Jersey, in New Mexico, and in South Dakota, if it is any indication of what's to come on November the 8th, 2022, America is in trouble. I see you, Jeffrey Payne, coming in from YouTube. See, Kenny says they are going to be found out. Yeah, Marion, yeah, I agree with you. So y'all, seriously, in California, there will be a mayor runoff on November the 8th from Karen, I think it's Bass, and Rick Crucio. That's going to be a runoff. They did neither of the two candidates reach that 50% to automatically become the mayor. So that is happening. Now, here's the other thing with Karen Bass. The reason why we're in trouble, Joe Biden had her on the short list to join him as VP back in the 2020 elections. And she's come that close. Also in San Francisco, progressive district attorney Chelsea Baldwin recalled by voters. Yeah. San Francisco district attorney was projected to be recalled by voters on Tuesday, a loss for progressives who supported his mission of criminal justice reform. Now, if he is removed from his position, the mayor, London Breed, will appoint an interim DA until voters weigh in again in November election. That's Huffington Post reporting. Also in Politico and Axios and others are saying there is a concern. We also have Governor Newton, who will be on the ballot and as governor of California in November as well. And it looks as if California could possibly split red and blue, and it could possibly go all the way over to red. So we have to really pay attention. I think people are tired. I think people are so tired of what's happening. Let me give you an example on this. Let me see. Davia says they're afraid of the truth contradicting their spin and damaging their brain. Yep. Good morning, Patricia. Diane says clearly Trump owns Fox News. There's so much happening. So let me share this with y'all. And this is to motivate us and to encourage us to begin having these conversations. Many of us, I know I do, I can get 3,000 emails within just a couple of hours of all of these things asking for donations, for money, for petitions and getting behind things. I want you all to hear me. I shared with you maybe last year to set up a separate email for those and then go through and mark those that are spam. You don't want to be hit with all of these on a daily basis. Set up that separate email and maybe once a week check it, something like that. There's so much news coming out on the regular. Almost every minute I'm getting some sort of email about Mitch McConnell or Chuck Grassley or the former guy or Biden or whomever, Val Demings, Marco Rubio. We're seeing all of these things and people are tired. So they're saying, I don't feel like voting. Yesterday, I shared with you in Los Angeles, they had less than 34%, and many of them were from the ages of 18 and 30 years old. They're like, I'm just not doing this. I'm not doing it. So they're waiting until November. But the problem is, some people who should have got in yesterday from those seven states didn't. They did not get in because people did not go out to vote. People are looking at primaries like whatever. All right, we got some more states that are coming up next week. You cannot be that state that says whatever, and I'll announce those states tomorrow. But y'all, we have to vote, which means, again, although Ohio, the first primary, there's another one coming up, but with the Ohio, the first primary, it's over. That doesn't mean I sit back and relax. No, it means that if I really care about this country, if I really care about my city, my state, my township, if I really care, and I know we all do, this education has to continue over and over and over again. We never really rest. Now, I believe in self-care. I believe you have to step aside and take some time off, turn off the news or whatever it is. But when it comes to things like this, we just cannot fall back. Now, y'all, this could be one of the most watched elections in November. In Iowa, Mike Franken, a Democrat, won the primary. And he wasn't really expected to win the primary. He will now face Senator Chuck Grassley, incumbent in the Senate race in November. Now, Democrat Mike Franken is a retired Navy admiral. And so he's going to be in there. So y'all, we have to pay attention. Then we have Karen Bass and Rick, who will have the runoff in November for mayor. Now, and again, remember, she was on the short list for Joe Biden's administration for VP. The fact that she is in a runoff should send signals. That should send some major signals. So with that, you have to look at the slate. We're still trying to get Marcus Flowers from Georgia to come join us. He is facing Marjorie Taylor Greene in November, and we want to hear from Marcus Flowers. Many people are already starting to send money his way, his campaign. Just make sure you check him out on your own. You can check him out at 538. I believe that's what it is. I think Isaiah has a banner he could put up. Yep, 538.com. You can go there and read and understand and learn about these different candidates. It is that important. It is so important. Dr. Antoinette says Fox, not surprising. Honestly, I wondered how they kept the handle of news. Yeah, that's true. So y'all, then I turn from there and I want to go to the Supreme Court. Again, the Supreme Court, when we look at the administration, when we look at the House and the Senate, and the way that we vote, that determines what happens when it comes to this office, which is a lifetime office. Y'all, 5 decisions are likely to be announced before the end of this month. The first one is abortion. We all know, we've all read about the possible overturn of Roe v. Wade. Guns. McConaughey, am I saying his name right? Matthew McConaughey. I couldn't get his name out. Matthew McConaughey. He had a very emotional speech yesterday from the White House press room. If you have not seen it, you can Google it. You can go to YouTube, whatever, to see that. You have to see that. So guns is in the court. The court is considering whether to throw out a New York state law that restricts people's ability to carry guns in public. You have to watch that, because what normally happens in one place, it starts trickling out to other. Once there is a precedent, that is what's argued, and that's how it changes. It could shift the atmosphere of other cities, states, places, so forth. Y'all have to pay attention. The other thing, climate is one of the 5 decisions that will be discussed. Now, this pertains to federal agencies regulating greenhouse gas emissions. You don't know about it, read up on it. Y'all, when I sat back and was reading these things over the past couple of weeks, it's very concerning. It is very concerning. Again, educate yourself on things like that. Then there's two areas when it comes to religion, and that's religious freedom. So you want to check that out as well, y'all. There's a lot that's going on. So then you're probably saying, well, what else is happening? What's up next when you come to a lot of these things? Well, coming up in fall, I want y'all to hear this. Coming up for the fall, opinions, arguments, and rulings from the Supreme Court. And I know we're just talking about what's coming up by the end of June, maybe the first week or two of July, but they're trying to get everything done by the end of June. What's coming up in the fall should be very concerning. It should be very concerning for all of us. And I want you to really think about those things that are to come. I cannot stress it enough. Voting rights will be a conversation with the Supreme Court. Affirmative action will be a conversation within the Supreme Court. Religious freedom, another type of bill, is coming forth within the Supreme Court. Then we also have, y'all, LGT, am I saying LGBTQIA coming up with the Supreme Court in the fall. There's a lot. And all of this is planning to take place prior to the November the 8th elections. Yes. So you're probably saying, what am I saying about this? Yeah, we need to read. If you hear something, go and do your research. Don't just take the spin. Even what I'm sharing with you, don't just take this information. Well, Gail said, go and read it for yourself. I believe we have a Supreme Court link. Isaiah, if you can put that up. Y'all, this is a link you should hit at least 4 times a year. 4 times a year. I believe we have the banner for the Supreme Court. It's supremecourt.gov, I believe. Thank you, supremecourt.gov. You want to check this this banner out. Y'all go to this link constantly. Go to this link at least 4 times a year to see what's on the docket, to see what's happening and what you can do to have conversation. Y'all, I share all of this. This is news. This is aggregated news that's coming from multiple sources, but I share this because this is serious. Again, if November the 8th even slightly mirrors the primaries from yesterday, there's trouble in America. Seriously, there's trouble. So you have to decide what you want to do, the conversations you will have. Maybe you want to have a small group gathering and just have conversation, not telling people who to vote for or how to vote for, but the importance of voting and why we do what we do, y'all. That's important. That is important. All right, y'all. So got that out the way. I'm going to bring in Kenny Stanley real quick to talk about Game Over, and then I'm coming back with more news. I had to break it up because it's just so heavy. So let me bring Kenny on in here. What's up, Kenny? Good morning.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How everybody doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. All right. NewsInMotion family, good morning. I pray everybody is doing well. I thought I would start this sports segment out on a different note. What's really going on with NFL quarterback, Cleveland Browns' new quarterback, former Houston Texans quarterback, Deshaun Watson? And how much did the Houston Texans know? It is said that Watson met with 66 female massage therapists within 17 months. 24 of these women have come forward with a lawsuit against him for sexual misconduct. I don't know what that entails. 2 of these women came this week. It was reported by the New York Times that these women had to sign non-disclosure statements, and it was given to them by the Houston Texans director of security. They had to sign them. These disclosure statements was in Deshaun Watson's locker. The Texans are trying to say they didn't know anything until it came forward with the first lawsuit in March in 2021 or 2021. something fishy is going on. I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson did anything. I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. But something fishy is going on. And 9 times out of 10, where there's smoke, there's fire. And something is going to have to be done. This man has done what they said he's done. Deshaun Watson's going to have a whole lot of answering to do. That's my story with that. I'm going to continue to follow this and continue to report on this Deshaun Watson thing until it comes to a head. They come to some decision. NBA championships continue tonight. Will Boston bounce back from this past Sunday? Or will Golden State continue to do what they're doing? It's been exciting. I can't wait to see what go on tonight. Will Klay Thompson show up? Or will he still be ice cold? Will Jason Tatum go off and catch fire? It depends. I can't wait to see if Boston going to get an edge back. In Major League Baseball, yeah, my Cincinnati Reds, I know y'all heard me talking about them at the beginning of the season. They looked horrible. But in the last 20 games, they're 11-9. And they won 2 back-to-back. It looks like my Red may win 30 games after all. I think they're going to win more than that. This may be the bounce back. They beat the Arizona Diamondbacks last night 14-8. This could be their turnaround. I hope so. Chicago White Sox beat the LA Dodgers 4-0. The New York Yankees beat the Twins 10-4. And the Boston Red Sox beat the Los Angeles Angels, the Los Angeles Angels 6-5. In the NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning told the New York Rangers, hey, hold on. Don't think we're just going to lay down and y'all just going to run over us. The Lightning tied the series last night at 2 games apiece as they beat the Rangers 4-1. That's sports. Game over. Everybody have a great weekend. Free BG. Back to Gail for more news.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you so much. I appreciate your recap here, and we'll see how it falls out.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Payne from YouTube said, go Yankees. So we'll see what's happening there as well. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right, y'all. I want to go back. I said I was going to come back with some news. I see you, John Gore. He's talking about the Go Celtics. And I see a lot of the comments that are coming in here, and we are receiving the comments that are coming through. Let me touch on that before I go to religious freedom. I think it's due to the news that I give. Call it factual. I'm fact checking so much. And I think that we're starting to be hidden to some degree. So our viewers can help a lot by sharing to your page if you want to, or a different page. I don't know. That's the only way people, I believe, are going to continue to see us. I think the more we get closer to the November the 8th election, and the more that we are doing to educate voters, especially marginalized and Black and brown voters, I believe that they're going to do everything they can to try to hide us on these platforms. So we're going to need your help. We can use your help. There's several of you saying, you can't get in. Where are you? I've been scrolling. I can't find News in Motion. Make sure you have liked and followed the page. Those are the 2 most important things. If you do not see us on Facebook, go to the YouTube, and that's youtube.com/Gail Dudley. Still 7:25 a.m. Eastern. Now, I will tell you the majority of the chat is on the Facebook side of it. So I'm just I'm sounding the alarm now of what's happening. And it's going to be up to all of us to allow other people in and to help people find us. So with that said, I want to go back to religious freedom. I wanted to go to sports and come back. I need to break that up. Y'all, there are 2 cases that are coming up this month. The first one, New York Times report, and they did a great reporting on this. One deals with a challenge to the Maine law that allows rural residents who live far from any public schools to attend a private school, but not a religious private school, using taxpayer dollars. So there's this big piece there, and you want to follow it. So often I think we hear different news headlines and we're thinking, that's not me. I don't care anything about that. Care. Because again, once a precedent is set, it becomes law, and that's where people go back to refer to get it done someplace else. The other one deals with the former high school football coach near Seattle who lost his job after praying on the 50-yard line at the end of his team's games. He argued that doing so was a matter of religious freedom, while the school district contended that he was effectively pressuring team members into participating. And he's saying he did not. He's saying he did not. So y'all, those two to watch very closely. Again, when it comes to the fall session, as reported in several news outlets. And again, if you just go to the supremecourt.gov and follow that, y'all go ahead and get that newsletter. And that newsletter comes out weekly. The court has already agreed to hear these following cases: affirmative action. Hello, somebody. Remember how many times that's been back on the case to be heard from the Supreme Court? Multiple times in the past 4 or 5 years. Voting rights. Why is this again at the Supreme Court? Why isn't this being handled with the Biden administration and the Senate and the House? Why are we still fighting for this? And why is this on the docket right before the November 8th primary elections? These are questions we need to be asking ourselves. And then LGBTQIA rights. Now, wasn't that settled already? These are questions that we need to be asking. So why is this coming back on as a part of this session with the fall? And then, as I just mentioned, these two cases that will be heard in June or early July when it comes to religious freedom, there are other cases, and they're calling it the clash between and with religious freedom. So what's happening even when it comes to that? Kim Edmondson says, can we clear out the Supreme Court and start over? That's a great question, because based upon what I'm reading, I'm only going to give you my opinion and what I'm reading. Based upon what I'm reading, it is heavily, as we know, it's heavily GOP from the former guy's appointments. And then every now and then you get Justice Roberts, who will somewhat go over where the Dem appointed justices are. So it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. And we still need to be talking about Jenny Thomas and Justice Clarence Thomas. Let's talk about that. So often we forget these. Latrice says, yes, we got to care about more than what directly affects us right now. We have to. We have to do that. So y'all, I want to talk about this just to lighten it a little bit. What's for dinner? Bumpgreen Tide is back in the voting too, so don't go nowhere. Y'all, there's a power of the rotisserie chicken. And they're so good at Costco. Seriously, they're so good at Costco. Y'all, CNN reports that the rotisserie chicken remains $4.99 at Costco. At Sam's Club, they are a penny less than that. Now, at all major chains like Meijer, Giant Eagle, Publix, they have all kept the same prices as well. Now, the Street.com reports that Costco recently went on record saying that they would raise their membership fees before raising the cost of their rotisserie chicken. Okay, thank you, but we still gonna offset it with the fee. But anyway, whatever. The Warehouse Club has kept the price at $4.99 for rotisserie chicken since 2009. They go on to say in this expensive move too, since it's widely believed that the company loses anywhere between $30 to $40 million per year selling the rotisserie chicken. So where am I coming in with voting? We see inflation that's happening. I need to make this comment, and I hope you understand when I make this comment. Y'all, inflation is not being set with your representatives. They're not setting, inflation happens. It happens. And no, none of us like it. None of us like it, but it's happening. So when you're hearing the spin about this candidate or that candidate or this incumbent or that incumbent, y'all do your research. Education is key. Even the former guy, and y'all know it's hard for me to say, even the former guy didn't set gas prices. Neither did Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter. None of them. None of them. Joe Biden is not setting gas prices. That is not what's happening. He is not trying to raise gas prices to get you to go buy an electric car. That's impossible. So y'all understand the dynamics when it comes to the three branches of government and how they work. If I don't teach anything else, and if I don't give anything else on this News in Motion broadcast, I want to communicate that. Y'all understand how it works. We've talked about the filibuster. We've talked about the Byrd rule. We've talked about the parliamentarian. We talked about the three branches of government. Y'all understand the rules, the power of the pen, the power of the purse, who really sets that whole financial piece. So y'all pay attention. Don't go from the spin. Don't go from the spin. All right, y'all. So along with that, speaking of dinner, now I don't know about y'all. I'm just again trying to lighten it a little bit. Y'all, Axios reports along with a lot of other people, and I'm sure you've seen it by now, Taco Bell defied. I don't know what that is. And I'm not sure I'm going to want somebody sending me some food through some conveyor belt that's going to get to me. And who's making it? What's making it? How are you making it? What is going on behind the scenes? Can I see you make my taco? Can I see you make my burger? Can I see you do whatever it is you're doing? Now they're saying that that people are doing drive-through and curbside. Hello, curbside. And it's up 20% even since the pandemic. And people are demanding that curbside stands. I'm on that protest team. Keep curbside, everything, just keep curbside. It was the best thing out there. But Border Foods CEO Lee Engler told Axios, we saw a lot of behavior change and we don't see the old way of things coming back. So y'all pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention. Kim Edmondson said, who's eating Taco Bell? I'm not. Y'all, in technology, yesterday I talked about Apple and how their text messages, they're already starting to change the text messages because I saw a couple yesterday. I was like, what is happening? So why did I say, someone said, why am I saying screenshot your text message? Well, if somebody can recall a text message and I need that information, I need to screenshot it so that I can remember it or put it in my calendar or whatever. So Apple's making some changes to text messages. You can now edit them. You can recall them. You can delete them. You can do all kinds of stuff now with text messages. Well, y'all, guess what? The EU. Now, I don't know about anybody. Can everybody type in the chat one cord? Man, that would be great if we only had one cord. Y'all, the EU voted yesterday to standardize charging ports across small electronics like phones, cameras, and tablets. This means that that Apple, the company most affected by the ruling, will have until autumn 2024 to make iPhones, iPad, USB-C capability, all of that in one cord. Y'all, Bloomberg is reporting this. Can y'all imagine one cord? Now, if the EU can do it, y'all, the USA can do it too. One cord. Just give me one cord. You know, when you travel, my purse be loaded down just with cords. You got the Apple Watch cord. I got the iPad cord. I got the new AirPod, but the headset from Apple. I got the Apple computer. I'm Apple down, y'all. Got all of my Apple iPhone, and I have 5-6 cords. Give me one cord. Can we please just have one cord? All right, y'all. Can you imagine preparing a marriage proposal and it be interrupted by an employee at the location? Well, y'all, that happened on May 21st, 2022. And New York Times reports a man had been planning for months to pop the question at Disney Paris, but the employee instead snatched the ring and ushered the couple off the stage. Who does that? Yeah, just moments after the young man had removed the engagement ring from his pocket, the employee darted onto the stage, snatched it, and directed the couple downstairs, where, according to a video of the event posted on Reddit last week, He suggested they could just continue their proposal somewhere in the corner. Now, y'all, this is all coming out of the New York Times. I just wanted to share this with you because I just can't believe it happened. Y'all, in a statement issued by Disney headquarters in California, the company said it regretted how the situation had been handled. And they go on to say in a quote, "We have offered our sincere apologies to the couple concerned, and we will do everything we can to make this up to them." Now, I don't know how you're going to ever get that moment back, because now the negativity of the video is everywhere. It has been viewed hundreds of thousands of times. This is how you're going to help them. Buy them a house, buy them both cars, give them the honeymoon of their life, give them some cash to fill up their kitchen with inflation. You can do some things, but y'all just killed a major proposal. That's crazy. Now, y'all, before I go into the inspirational message, USA Today reports, y'all see how I've broken up this news as much as I could because it is that kind of heavy today. The Department of Homeland Security warns domestic terrorism could increase during the midterms. Yeah, and I think we'll see more of that with the live hearings starting tomorrow that will indicate and tell us how it's getting ready to happen. Y'all, the Department of Homeland Security said yesterday domestic terrorism threats could become more volatile during the midterms because of misinformation and politically and emotionally charged events, such as impeding Supreme Court ruling on Roe v. Wade. They go on to say in a quote, "Threats acts have recently mobilized to violence due to the factors such as personal grievances, reactions to current events, and adherence to violent extremist ideologies, including racially and ethnically motivated or anti-government, anti-authority, violent extremism." And that's from the National Terrorism Advisory System. And that is the bulletin, which I have a receipt of that bulletin. I said a whole lot there. Hopefully it came out right. That was a whole lot to say. But y'all, that's happening. Again, that's why here on this particular broadcast, News in Motion, our goal, our promise to you, and I can actually promise you, we will make sure we get to the facts of everything that we present here. We want to arm you with information to share with your circle of influence, with getting and helping people register to vote and so forth. Here, we hope that when you tune in here, we can give you results, we can give you informational candidates, and that's why I'm going to ask as a call to action today for your help. We are continuing looking for News in Motion ambassadors. And these ambassadors will really just feed us information in your city, in your township, in your state. If you have candidate information, it is hard for just three of us. And we have three people on this team. It's hard for the three of us to constantly figure out everything that's going on. We do our best. I spend anywhere myself from 12 to 16 hours. Yeah, doing research. Even if I'm at my mom's sitting there, y'all know she's still not in the greatest of health. I'm sitting there just scrolling and I'm pulling out all these press releases. I'm in the room with the White House press corps virtually, trying to see what's happening and going on so I can bring you this news. So we do need your help in that way. Just shoot us an email. I say, if you can put the News in Motion email banner up, I would greatly appreciate it. Send us an email. Let us know. Even if you send us a link, we will then go and do the research. Because whatever you send us, I want y'all to hear me. And this is not a slam in any way, shape, or form. Whatever you send us, you can believe me. We're going to check it out, triple check it out, double check it out, do whatever we need to do to make sure it is factual or to find out the facts behind it before we put it out there. So we need your help with that. The other thing I shared with you earlier this week, that Ready publication is coming back for a special issue, although it may remain back. So we're working on that. We're going to have a special issue that comes out on September the 1st. And it is called the Ready to Vote issue that will deal with people, prayer, politics, democracy. And we have both sides of the aisle. We have independents, we have libertarians, we have Green Party. We have people who are trying to write articles, and we're excited about it. So we're going to give you more information for that. We have a couple of businesses who are trying to help us make sure that the magazine will be in places that people can pick up free in marginalized communities, because we want them to have the information. It's something that God had given to me during Holy Week when I was praying. Also, y'all, the book, and y'all won. Those of you who did the tagline for the book that will be releasing this summer, it's the content's done. We just have to get the cover, and I could not land on the title. The title will be People, Prayer, and John Gore, The Red Works, Prayer, Politics. So the book and the magazine will be coming out maybe about 30 days apart. We have invited some new writers to write for Ready Magazine as well. And then we have a lot of our old contributors coming back, and they are excited. So look for that. That's the work that we're doing. That's how we are committed right here through News in Motion. And as y'all know, News in Motion and Ready Publication, they're not too far apart. My daughter and I own both of them. So we're doing what we can to make sure you're getting this information. I had no idea that that's how Ready Publication was going to come back, but that's how it came back. So I'm real excited about all of it. I don't know when I'm asleep. We're off on News in Motion when it comes to August, but I'll be working on the book and getting that out there and working to get that magazine out there on time. So for the inspirational message, with all of that said, I can sit here and say, I believe God. I believe God. God is the author and the finisher of our faith. I believe him. I believe him when he says, do not be fearful. I believe him when he says that we are victorious. I believe him when he says that he will tell us which way to go. I believe God. I believe him when he says that he will expose people. I believe God when he says he will make your enemy your footstool. I believe God when he says that we're more than a conqueror. I believe God when he says that we have authority. People, we just have to exercise the authority that God has already given to us. I believe God when he says he sees all things, he hears all things, he knows all things. I believe God when he says things will be the same today, yesterday, and forevermore. I believe God. So with everything that's going on around us, as crazy as it may appear, I still believe God. I believe in the power of the Holy Spirit. I believe what I learned on Pentecost Sunday is that Pentecost can happen every day of our lives if we would just access the kingdom, the power, the glory, and the anointing of God. I believe God. The news is the news. The elections are the elections, but there's one elect that sits high and looks low. I believe God. Do what you will, say what you will, act how you will. In the end, I am waiting for my God to look at me and say that I have been a good and faithful servant, that I have been submissive, that I have walked by grace and love, that I have loved thy neighbor as thyself. I cannot wait for him to welcome me into the fold in heaven when that time comes. But until then, I believe everything he has to say. Everything. Even in the darkest hour, I believe God. I believe him. And I am calling you to action today to believe him as well. You've heard him. Stop trying to get validation from somebody else that you heard what you heard. You heard him. And I can tell you how you know you've heard him, because something shifted. There was an inkling, there was a feeling, there was something on the inside of you that shook. You can't explain it. Don't even worry yourself asking somebody else. Receive what you received. Yeah, Hester, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Well done. All right, y'all. That's all I have for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. Stay well. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else having anything out here to say. Yes, Pastor Alex. Amen. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, I'm Gail Dudley, and I will see you. Stay well. And remember, y'all, make some bold moves.